Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is Monday, and what a beautiful day it is to dive headfirst into the absolute madness happening in Port Charles right now. We have so much ground to cover today. The drama is just completely off the charts this week. So grab a huge cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's just jump right into the thick of it because there is a lot to unpack. So Monday, April 13 is bringing some major revelations and some truly wild theories, and it all starts with Laura Collins. Laura is going to find Curtis Ashford over at General Hospital, and she offers him some much-needed support over Jordan's horrific ordeal, which is nice. But Laura being Laura, she can't just leave it at that. She has a hunch, a really big hunch about Jordan's car wreck, and she has an important question to ask Curtis. Laura is going to wonder if it is possible that the car wreck wasn't an accident at all. And Curtis may actually admit that it's possible, because according to the news he already gave Harrison Chase, the other driver didn't stop. They supposedly just left them for dead on Route 91. So Laura takes that information and runs with it. She will no doubt consider the possibility that Jen Sidwell is behind the whole thing. Laura thinks that Sidwell somehow found out that Jordan was secretly plotting his takedown, and that Jordan paid the ultimate price for it. Laura's theory is that Sidwell could have ordered someone to run Jordan off the road, which sounds totally plausible in a town run by mobsters. It really does. But the irony here is just painfully thick, because we all know exactly what happened on that road, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Jen Sidwell or his henchmen. Let's be real for a second. We all saw the crash. We all saw Curtis and Jordan making out in the car. Jordan completely took her eyes off the road because she was passionately kissing Curtis like a high schooler at a drive-in. She was wildly distracted, and that is why she swerved. That is why they crashed into the trees and the car burst into flames. But Curtis isn't telling Laura that part because he is terrified and guilty. Jordan is laying in a hospital bed, completely unresponsive, with a nasty gash on her face and a possible traumatic brain injury. And Curtis is screaming for doctors. So instead of admitting the embarrassing truth, Curtis is leaning into this hit-and-run narrative, which just fuels Laura's conspiracy theories. And meanwhile, the show is simultaneously framing Brooklyn Quartermain as the fall guy. Brooklyn is sitting at the Quartermain mansion sweating bullets, because she had a glass of wine before driving to Charlie's pub. She thinks she might have caused the accident and kept driving, and she is terrified she is going to lose her marriage to Chase and her conditional approval to foster baby Phoebe. And if that wasn't messy enough, Carly is also involved in this massive cover-up, because Danny Morgan and Charlotte Cassadine were on that exact same road. Danny wrecked Charlotte's car on a reckless joyride, and Carly swooped in. She ordered their damaged car to be repaired and sent back, because she was terrified the cops wouldn't believe the teens didn't cause the massive crash. So we have Carly hiding evidence, we have Brooklyn agonizing over a glass of wine, we have Curtis lying by omission to the cops, and we have Laura blaming a grieving mob boss. It is a complete circus. But speaking of Sidwell, ADA Justine Turner is getting very involved. She is going to vow to handle Sidwell on Friday's episode, and she will be absolutely brimming with confidence, strutting around like she has the power to take down this massive threat with a few legal maneuvers. But she is so naive. She really needs to be a little more wary of the danger Sidwell always brings to the table. Justine and Jordan were just talking about how Sonny isn't responsible for Marco Rios dying, but Sidwell doesn't care about facts, because Sidwell is a grieving father. He is out for blood. He thinks Sonny killed his son Marco, even though we all know that Ross Cullum is the one who actually stabbed Marco. Britt Westbourne knows this, Cassius Faison knows this, but they aren't telling Sidwell because Cullum controls Britt's medication. So Sidwell is just aiming all his violent rage directly at Sonny, and Justine thinking she can just handle him is honestly laughable. Sidwell is a ticking time bomb, so Sonny is doing what Sonny always does. He is planning a counterattack. On Monday, Sonny is going to have a major strategy session with Rick Lansing, and Sonny is going to deliver a request that Rick is absolutely not going to like. Sonny wants to go on the offensive. He has a plan to deal with Sidwell his way. But Rick is going to disagree, strongly. Rick is actually being the smart one here for once. He argues that Sonny needs to be prepared in case Sidwell retaliates. Rick knows that Sidwell is incredibly dangerous. Rick already theorized that Sidwell orchestrated the whole mess on the pier that got Jason Morgan shipped off to the WSB. Rick knows Sidwell is trying to leave Sonny vulnerable, and Rick has been trying to keep Danny out of it too. But Danny overheard them, and now Danny wants revenge on the WSB. It is just a massive domino effect of bad decisions, and Rick is standing in the middle of it trying to play chess while Sonny just wants to smash the board. If Sonny misses, Sidwell is going to scorch the earth. Taking a quick detour from all the mob violence and fiery car crashes, we have a small update on Molly Lansing Davis. Cody Bell is stepping up. He is taking care of Molly during her surgery recovery, which is actually really sweet. It is nice to see Cody being a supportive guy. Molly needs the help right now, and Cody is there to take care of her. It is a quiet little moment in an otherwise incredibly chaotic week, but honestly, I kinda like it. It breaks up the tension, because the rest of these people are completely losing their minds. Okay, but back to the main drama. Willow Kane is in full-blown panic mode. She is going to fret to Nina Reeves, telling Nina that her entire future is at stake, and she is not exaggerating even a little bit. Willow's world is literally dangling by a single thread, and it all hinges on Nina coming through for Jack Brennan. Which is the craziest sentence I have ever typed. Willow needing Nina to save her from Brennan. But that is exactly where we are right now, because let's remember why Willow is in this terrible mess. Willow shot Drew Kane. She pulled the trigger, the crazed, and it has been this massive, stressful cover-up ever since. Trina Robinson knows the secret. Kai Taylor knows the secret. Willow has been using Chase to run background checks on Kai just to keep tabs on him. She even conditionally approved Chase and Brooke Lynn to foster Phoebe just to keep the heat off her. But none of that matters now, because Jack Brennan has the traffic cam footage. He has the actual video of Willow shooting Drew. And Brennan is absolutely not a nice guy. He is using that footage as massive leverage. It looks like Brennan will indeed meet with Nina later in the week, and he is going to insist that it is time for her to repay the favor she owes him. Brennan doesn't care about Willow's congressional run, he doesn't care about her family, he just wants what he wants. And what he wants is information, very specific information. Brennan has an idea of how Nina can help him. He wants Nina to pry more information out of Charlotte Cassadine, which sounds kind of random at first. Why target Charlotte? But if you connect the dots, it makes perfect sense. Charlotte knows things. Jacinda Bracken already caught Charlotte and Danny talking about Valentine. Charlotte knows that her father, Valentine Cassadine, is a WSB fugitive, and more importantly, she probably knows he is hiding out at Carly's house. So Brennan wants Nina to use her connection to Charlotte to get that intel. He wants Nina to pump a teenager for information about a fugitive. And Nina is going to lay down the law. She absolutely hates this plan. Nina may not like Brennan's strategy at all. She doesn't want to manipulate Charlotte like that, especially since Charlotte was just involved in that massive car crash with Danny. But Brennan holds all the cards. He will no doubt remind Nina that he has the absolute power to bring Willow's world crashing down. If he makes that traffic cam footage reappear, Willow goes to prison. It is that simple. So Nina is completely trapped. And speaking of Valentine hiding at Carly's house, things are about to completely explode between those two. Valentine is going to blow up at Carly, and honestly, I don't blame him one bit. Valentine literally risked his freedom to run out to Route 91 and function like a two-man walker with Curtis to pull Jordan out of a burning car. He saved her life, and Carly yelled at him for it. But now, Valentine finds out what Carly has been doing with Jack Brennan behind closed doors. Carly made a decision. She decided to take Brennan to bed. Instead of breaking up with him like Valentine now wants her to, Valentine is furious. He is a fugitive living in her house, trusting her with his life, and she is sleeping with the WSB agent who is actively trying to hunt him down. How long before you turn on me? Valentine asks Carly angrily in the Friday preview video. And it is a completely valid question. Carly is playing a very dangerous, very stupid game right now. But Carly is going to strike back at Valentine, because Carly never backs down from a fight. She will probably get defensive and yell right back at him. But the truth is, Carly is a total mess emotionally. She may admit that she can't turn off her burning desires for Valentine, and we know this is true, because fans got undeniable proof of that recently. When Carly was having her passionate encounter with Brennan, she literally imagined Valentine. She was in bed with Brennan, but she was thinking about Valentine. It is so clunky and soapy, and I absolutely love the drama of it all. So we are heading for a major confrontation between Carly and Valentine. Spoilers say it is going to be huge. They have this vengeful takedown alliance, they have all this sizzling chemistry, but there is absolutely zero trust between them. Valentine knows Carly betrayed Brennan in the past, and now Brennan is putting the puzzle pieces together. Brennan is on the verge of uncovering their entire alliance. And Carly sleeping with him is only going to make it 1,000,000 times worse when he finally figures it out. So to recap this absolute nightmare of a week, Laura is chasing ghosts and blaming Sidwell for a crash caused by a makeout session. Curtis is hiding the truth and letting Brooklyn have a panic attack over a glass of wine. Carly is covering up teen joyrides and sleeping with WSB agents while hallucinating her fugitive roommate. Willow is being blackmailed with murder footage. Nina is being forced to interrogate a traumatized teenager, and Sonny is trying to start a massive mob war while Rick desperately tries to hold him back. It is just non-stop, raw, unfiltered chaos from every single angle. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Stay tuned because Port Charles is about to burn to the ground.